So there's been a bit of drama today in Brisbane, and I thought I'd use that drama to talk about something that I would introduce as policy as an MP. So the story, as I understand it at the moment, is the Brisbane One Nation candidate, Rebecca Lloyd, has been apparently disendorsed by One Nation because Jonathan Sri, who is he's the councillor, the Greens councillor for the Gabba, introduced a story about her that she was under AEC investigation. And once again, I don't really need to know the details of this story to make my point, to express what I want to about policy. But this is the details as I understand, is that Rebecca had this hit piece written by a Greens councillor. 4 or 5 major media outlets ran with it, and the claim was that she was under investigation by the AEC for electoral fraud. Now, Rebecca claims this is completely false. Apparently she has a recording with the AEC, recording of a phone call with the AEC to confirm that she's not under investigation whatsoever. Nevertheless, the lie from the Greens councillor and spread by the mainstream outlets has caused a controversy, and she fought back against that controversy in a video. One Nation, the party, told her to pull the video down. She said, "No, I won't, because I'm defending myself." And they have apparently responded to this controversy by disendorsing her. Now, I hope this gets sorted out, and the details might be different. It doesn't really matter to me at the moment. My goal is to bring up a point, not get involved in the specifics of the drama. So I really hope that Rebecca gets it sorted out, because it sounds like an unfair thing. I think we all have the right to defend ourselves against false claims. But the point I want to bring up is, I hope now you see the power in what would be the first bill that I would introduce as a Member of Parliament, and that is that you earn the right for public free speech by responsibly doing your due diligence to make sure that it is true speech and reciprocal speech. So the idea is, look, you're down at the pub with some mates, say what you want, because you're not in an important situation there. The power that your speech carries is very low. So it's not about saying your private opinions or what you say at home, whatever, but it's this thing where this idea that as your speech has more and more power to affect the public commons, that you should also balance out your right to speech with your responsibility for it to be true speech. And that doesn't mean you have to know everything and what you say has to be true, but you have to do your due diligence, which means make your greatest effort to make sure that it's true as far as you understand, and that you are testifying and not just speaking plain lies. Now, especially in this case where something like a One Nation candidate is under investigation by the AEC, it should be very, very easy to verify whether this is actually true or not. So what the mainstream news outlets have done is reported at and ignored the most basic small amount of effort they could have done to see if what they were saying is actually true. Now, so basically my bill, the bill that I would craft, would be something to the effect of, when speaking to the public in matters of the public, you must, free speech is not enough. You have to do your due diligence to make sure that your speech is warranted and that it is, to the best of your knowledge, true and reciprocal. And so what I would have done, we have libel laws, okay? But as far as I understand now, you have to be able to demonstrate to have like a slander or libel case that your life has been negatively affected, and sometimes that your income has been directly affected as a result of somebody's public lying. I would go a lot further than that, and I would say it is not only a crime against a person, but even if the person themselves doesn't want to prosecute it, it's a crime against the commons. It's a crime against the common property of society, which is that we value the truth. And so I would enforce this by having teams of prosecutors who are able to make money by prosecuting public lying. And obviously, look, I'm just talking off the cuff now. This is the sort of thing that has to be worked out in very fine detail and add all the caveats and that sort of thing. But essentially, I would like a class of lawyers standing by, ready to say, did you do your due diligence? Did you even make the most basic effort to verify that what you're printing is true, and that you're not just slandering, gossip, shaming, undermining, rallying, moralizing, psychologizing, doing all these techniques of undermining? Did you even put in the most basic effort to make sure that you're printing the truth? And I would see fines issued, whether compensation goes to the person being lied against or if it just goes to the commons, because you're creating a crime against the commons in the same way that you go and graffiti the motorway. It's a crime against the commons. If you're publicly lying on matters of the public, to the public, in public, then it's a crime against the commons, and it has to be stopped. Because a lot of people have talked about how do you halt the march of Marxism. Marxism is a house of cards built on lies. All you'd have to do is outlaw public lying, public, repeated, unashamed, unwarranted lying, and you'd be done. You know what I mean? And is anyone actually going to stand up and say, no, I want the right to lie? People will say, well, I want the right to free speech. You say, cool, have all the free speech you want. You just have to warranty that you've made your best effort to make sure that it's grounded in reality somehow. And so look, other examples of this is we're dealing over and over and over again with Clive Palmer. He's got to pay the workers. Now, straight from the horse's mouth, we've got receipts from court cases, we've got news article receipts, we've got lawyers, we've got all the receipts in the world to say, the price of nickel went down, and the control of the nickel company went to the administrators, and Clive fought the administrators to get people paid, even though he was technically just a shareholder. It wasn't even his responsibility to pay the workers because he was technically a shareholder, but he still endeavored to pay the workers because he's a good bloke. Yet they keep saying he fought the administrators to get people paid, and it took that sort of 3 years for that to happen. Yet people just on the street say, Clive's got to pay the workers, Clive's got to pay the workers. It's just a lie. Now you say that on the street, well, you're not affecting the commons. You're just annoying the crap out of me. But if you're going to print that repeatedly in newspapers, say it on the radio, say it on the TV, Clive's got to pay the workers, when it's so easily verifiable that that's not what happened, then you should be fined. You should be punished for being a liar. That's what I think. And I would write a bill to that effect. Another one as well is the rabble-rousing around the word anti-vaxxer. Now, anti-vaxxer could mean a lot of things. There are a lot of different types of vaccines out there. Someone who doesn't want a particular COVID vaccine, someone who doesn't want any vaccines, someone who wants to wait to see if other people have negative effects from vaccines, somebody who is pro-choice, has had the vaccine themselves but doesn't want it forced. These are all distinctly different concepts. Yet you can get on the TV and mainstream media and just say, lump everyone, oh, you're anti-vaxxer. And it's just a way to put people in a we don't have to listen to you because you're a crazy antisocial person bucket. It's just lying. It's just lying. And it's so easy to do the most basic due diligence and warranting of that speech. My personal opinion is they're doing it completely on purpose. They're lying for fun and profit. But it's these once again, say what you want in the pub, in your own home, down there, but as the power that your speech carries, so should the responsibility for it to be true. Once again, it's this weighting, this yin yang, this justice the inherent justice of with great power comes great responsibility. And as your power, as the power of your speech goes up, so should your responsibility to make sure that you're speaking the truth. So once again, speaking in public, to the public, in matters public, you must do your due diligence to warranty that your speech is truthful to the best of your ability, to prove that you tried to make sure your speech is truthful. And if you don't, you should be punished. Maybe a small punishment, maybe, you know, you get a few strikes, but if you keep doing it, if you keep saying lies in public, to the public, in matters of public, then I want you prosecuted. And not necessarily even like, yeah, maybe prosecuted on behalf of the person that you're lying about so that they can be compensated, but also prosecuted because you're committing a crime against the commons. You're committing a crime against the people. You're committing a crime against Australia. So I'm telling you now, if I was elected as a member of parliament, that would be the first bill that I would craft. So if you'd like to see that happen, help me out. Help me get in there. You know, imagine that. Imagine free, truthful, reciprocal, warranted speech, especially in important public matters. What a utopia that would be. You can help me do it.